Hello and welcome to another episode of Storytime with Sky Fellowship. And I realise now, literally, as I'm hitting record, I forgot to mention what the actual name of the last episode was. Obviously, you'll have seen it on the title, Hyperfixation, but it's because I started to say about the spoilers, so I know how it happened. Anyway, housekeeping aside, and also if I know that when I used to do reviews, people used to complain about saying and the like. It's almost as if I'm autistic, ADHD, and STEM things, you know, it's almost as if I will repeat words. But at the time, I was also still young, and now I'm old enough to know that there are people who actually make drinking games out of these. Never make a drinking game out of something I say. Again, I stim a lot of things. I will see a lot of things. You will probably kill yourself, like drink yourself dead, with the amount of times I say things like, so, anyway, or, you know, so, anyway. Say, right, this is, episode... I honestly can't remember the number at this moment in time. This is what happens when the tech destroyed everything. Like, I know what episode this was, but what episode is it going to be? I guess I'll just say this is episode... I don't even have a title for this one. I must have had a title. As you can see, I am very well prepared. I know the story, at least, if that helps. So maybe I'll come up with a title while I'm in the middle of doing it. Oh, Can't Win. Can't Win is what I remember. Yes. So, welcome to episode, I'm going to guess 5. Can't Win. If it's not 5, then it doesn't really matter, unless you have OCD, which I sympathise with, by the way, but if this turns out to be episode 6 and I've said episode 5, you'll just have to live with it. And hell, I've just said episode 6 there, so hopefully that fixes the OCD demon thing, you know? I again get it. So, this is called episode Can't Win Either Way. In fact, you know what? Can't Win Either Way might actually be the full title now, because when you hear what the story's going to be, that was an accident, but yeah. Let's cut to Smash Bros. Coming out. And I'm going to cut to the Direct when Ultimate was announced. I was sitting with the friend group watching the Direct, and I actually said to them before the Direct, Smash Bros. This is the one. I'm telling you now, it's going to close for Smash Bros. And I specifically said, it's going to show the Inkling kids from Splatoon, and that's going to be how they fake you out, and it'll reveal Smash Bros. So we're watching that Direct, and the Splatoon thing comes on, which gives you the DLC for Splatoon 2, and they were complaining, like, the people I was with really do not like Splatoon, like, seriously do not like Splatoon. I cannot believe how badly I'm getting my ass kicked from Sephiroth here. But again, I'm playing hindered. I'm not using a GameCube controller. I know how shocking that might be, and it turns out all of my muscle memory is in a GameCube controller. Like, the buttons that I think jump should be are not, the buttons that I think attack should be are not, and I don't even know how to pick up items, because that's what I thought would be pick up for when an item appears, and as you can see, I'm jumping. So anyway, the Splatoon thing went off and they were complaining, and if memory serves, there was another Splatoon thing and they were complaining as well, and finally the Inkling shows up and all of them were just like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, I can't believe yet more fucking Splatoon. And then they noticed the smile on my face, and it's like, why are you smiling? And it's like, what did I literally say like 45 minutes ago? What did I literally tell you was gonna happen? And they were like, oh no. And then the Smash Bros. Logo appeared, and they were like, no fucking way, how did you know? And it's like, dude, like, I know Nintendo. This is what they do. This is how they do their fake outs. So yeah, that got revealed. The game got announced. The game finally came out in December. I had a splitting migraine when it came out, and the same friend group was super hyped with it, and I said to them, would you, like, how do you want us to do this? Because all of these characters are going to require unlocking. Do you want me to look into how to do that, and do you want me to do it? And all of them agreed, yeah, like, get the characters, the base roster's going to be shit, so just unlock everything, please. So I did just that. I learned how to do it. I spent 2.5 days not sleeping because I couldn't with the pain, and because of the time that we were having the Smash Brothers party, essentially, I unlocked absolutely every character, which... some of them were brutally difficult, like, it's some of the hardest unlocks I've ever seen, and they did actually have to do a patch to nerf the unlocks because people complained so much. So, I beat all of them, and I'd got to the point where I've always been good at Smash Bros. Like, if I was born later, but it's one of those, I was born at the right time to get into Melee, but not at the right time for Melee to be an esport. I'm telling you now, I could have been a professional Smash Bros. Player. That I was godly on Melee. I know fine well I was godly on Melee. I very rarely lost to anyone, like ever. And it was a case of handicaps and team-ups, like so many ways just to try to compete against me. So I was already good, and they'd already understood that this was going to mean I was getting good at this specific Smash Brothers, so I did clear it with them, and I think you might be starting to notice the can't win scenario here. So I unlocked all the characters and went round there for this party night, and instantly they were complaining. So of course you're going to be like really good at it, and it's like, yep, and we already covered this, but don't worry, I've not slept for 2.5 years. And how about this? I'll go for randoms, because I do know how to play as every character, but there's clearly some characters I'm really good at versus characters that I'm really bad at. So that was fine. They were happy with me playing random, and game after game after game, it was close, and I was getting the odd win. There were 4 of us, so it wasn't like stupidly ridiculous. I wasn't absolutely blitzing them, and because of that, they were like, okay, so why don't you play as your main character then, which is Ganondorf. I know it may not look it. Again, I am much better when I'm actually trying. This really, I'm just trying to not jump off the edge and die. I should have really picked a better stage, but anyway, I put Ganondorf on. It was a blood. Like, I can't even think of how much of a massacre it was to describe it. It was a blood-frenzied carnage. They didn't stand a chance. It didn't matter how half asleep I was, I obliterated them. Absolutely fucking obliterated them. And they were like, okay, so you're never playing as him again? And it's like, yep, fully understood this was coming. I'll go for random. There's one character I was playing as that I was almost as good as with Ganondorf. And I was sitting there thinking that if I ever really get into this game competitively, I mightn't be sticking with Ganondorf, because this character was just like really, really good. And sometimes the universe takes care of you. I'm going to do a quick side way, because this is also the same group of people as to why I don't like Halo. I was extremely good at Halo, and especially Halo 2. I was pretty high ranked in Halo 2, and the same people wanted to play Halo weekly, and it really was weekly, and I got so sick of it, because I was really good, and they were not, and I would win every game, and they would not, and they would then complain every time that I won, because it's not fun when I win. And it's like, so how about we fix this by me not playing? Because then I don't have to play something I really don't want to play. Nope, I'm not allowed to quit either. So I wasn't allowed to quit, I wasn't allowed to always win. There were just so many annoying things. The randomization that I got in Smash Brothers felt like the universe saying, listen, you've been stuck with this awful friend group for a while, and they're no longer in my life. I did manage to eventually say, listen, I think you treat me like absolute shit, so fuck you. It gave me Cloud. The massacre wasn't quite as bad as Ganondorf, because again, I wasn't quite as good as Cloud. I just knew I could get there if I put the time in. But it was still a massacre. I absolutely obliterated all of them, and it felt so good with how bitchy and pissy and moany they'd been the entire time, and how I was bending over backwards. I stayed awake, partially in the pain and partially because they asked me to do this, and then for them to complain the entire time that meant I was good at the game. Like, it was so nice to get 2 absolute bodies back to back, and then I just went back to regular randoms and we did handicap stuff and stuff like that, and they were happy enough. But I had those 2 moments of, I'm not even playing at my best. I'm so sleep deprived and in so much pain and so out of it, and I still absolutely bodied you. I have a strong feeling that it could have been a 3-on-1, and if I'd been fully rested, I probably wouldn't have lost the stock. It was that much of a massacre. So yeah, that's why this is called Can't Win, because I truly was in a situation where I could not fucking win. And at least it didn't ruin Smash Bros. With me, it really didn't, but it really did ruin Halo. I've never played Halo 3, because by the time I was so sick of the first one because of them, and then the second one was the only thing anyone played on Xbox Live, I was just like, I was just so done with that franchise, and now the franchise seems to have gone to shit anyway. So yeah, I think that is the end of this video. So until next time, I will see you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. This has been Sky Fellowship, and bye.